Connor, obviously it must have been a frustrating summer for you first of all. How is the injury now?
Yeah, it's feeling good. Haven't been very lucky with the injury front of obviously 2 contact injuries which were unavoidable, and as I say, it was a tough time in my career trying to get back from that, especially after getting a good run of games, and I'm back fit and fight, ready to go.
And you had been, or at one point Tom was hoping you'd be back for the start of the season, but it didn't quite pan out like that.
No, I had a quite nasty one. I tried my best to get back as quick as I can and followed all the instructions from the surgeon, and obviously the physio team tried their hardest here as best they can, but it just wasn't to be.
How difficult is it being injured as a goalkeeper, maybe, as opposed to being an outfield player? Because at the end of the day, there's only one shirt that you're competing for, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't think anyone being injured is a tough scenario, so I think if you speak for everyone else, I don't think it matters if you're a goalkeeper or an outfielder. Not being involved in the team and not being involved with everyone, it's kind of like a separate community where the injured boys kind of stick together and try and get them through each day when everyone else is on the grass working hard. So I'd say it was a tough point in my career, but I'm all through it now, fighting, ready to go.
And the goalkeepers union, when you were watching Luca, what did you reckon?
Yeah, he's a good top goalkeeper, isn't he? I thought he performed quite well over the games, and it was just unfortunate results that didn't go our way, but I thought he performed very well.
Both Miran and Tom made it very clear in their times that they were going to have a number one goalkeeper and a reserve. With Tom, how did you have any clues at all as to which way he was going to jump before he announced the decision?
No, as I think I said this before, all I do is focus on myself and what I do on the training pitch. I say it's not the goalkeeper's job to pick the team or not the goalkeeper's job to pick who's in goal, so I just worked hard as I could on the training pitch and worked hard as I could to get back as quick as I can, and then it was up to the manager to decide.
You've been away with Northern Ireland, a couple of exciting home games that they've played, haven't they?
Yeah, no, we performed very well. I thought the whole squad was unbelievable. 2 hard fixtures, good result against Slovakia, and obviously Germany we were hard done by, I thought. I'd say we're 2 big games coming up next month.
Back to Argyle, obviously Wimbledon at home. Are you aware you've then got 5 away games on the trot after that?
Yes, we are. We are quite aware. As I say, we've got to just take each game as it comes now. We're focusing on each Saturday and Thursday and Tuesday again, so we're just going to take each game at a time and hopefully get 3 points.
How are you on travelling in those away games?
Oh yeah, it's all good. I think everyone is in the same boat when they have to come down here, so it's only fair we do it when we're away. Of
course, the next away game is the Exeter Derby. That's the first time you'll have been involved in that fixture, is that right?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for it. I've heard a lot about it, but as I say, we can't get too ahead of ourselves. Saturday's the most important one at the moment.
If I could just ask a couple of questions about that one though. Geographically, I mean, it doesn't look like a derby, but you're well aware of just how important it is to both sets of fans.
Yeah, as I say, we know it's a very important game, especially for everyone in the club and the community. And look, at the end of the day, we're going to go there and hopefully get 3 points.
You'll have seen Josh McGuinness over the last couple of weeks. Have you discussed this game at all, the two of you?
Oh, no, we had a bit of banter when we were away, so I'll leave that to that.
Okay. I've got a quiz which I don't know whether we'll have time for, but if we do, you're right doing the quiz in a bit?
It depends what it's about, yeah.
See if the gaffer's ready outside.
Right, good man. Thank you.
No worries.
Hi Connor. I enjoyed watching the Northern Ireland game on Tuesday night against Germany. The team really gave it a good go, didn't they? And the atmosphere came across fantastically on the team.
Yeah, the atmosphere was class. The atmosphere was top drawer. So coming against them top countries, you need everyone behind you, and Windsor Park was rocking.
Bailey Peacock-Farrell got the nod for those 2 games. How do you see your role when you're on international duty like that and not playing?
Yeah, I said it a couple of minutes ago. I just said, you can't control who goes in goal. You can't pick the team. So if Bailey gets a nod, I think me and Luke, all we can do is try and support him the best we can.
Having beaten Slovakia, there has to be a chance that you can get into the playoffs at least for the World Cup. How big a driving factor is that for you and the rest of your international teammates? Yeah,
we know we have a big opportunity coming up next month now. I think we need a win and 4 points would be ideal to try and get ourselves secured. And as I say, football, anything can happen. And if obviously going to a World Cup or major tournament like that is not many people get to experience that. So I'm sure everyone's in the same boat where we'll be trying everything we can.
You're playing in League One this season. Is there any differences from a goalkeeping perspective playing League One to the Championship, do you feel?
I've only played 2 games, so I can't really clarify on that. I'd say I treat every game the same from a personal point of view and just try and build on each performance at a time.
Mike Stowell's come in as the goalkeeping coach this week. Any thoughts on his arrival and, you know, how much you're sort of looking forward to working with him? Vastly experienced coach, isn't he?
Yeah, he's obviously worked at the highest level, so he obviously knows a bit or two or three things about goalkeeping, so I think I'm really lucky with this opportunity and I'm looking forward to learning a lot off him.
The last game he played in his career was a 4-0 defeat at Home Park.
I didn't know that. That's a good knowledge.
You might want to mention that at some stage.
How long was that ago?
2003, quite a while ago. But probably all three of us on the front row will probably hear that night watching it. But
very good. Hopefully he starts with a better result on Saturday.
Absolutely, yeah. Have a good one on Saturday.
Thank you.
Tom, has it been good to have the week's break?
Yeah, I think certainly when you've got quite a long injury list, it gives you more time to get those players closer to full fitness. Been a good couple of weeks training. We're still a fairly new group coming together, and so quality time on the training pitch without the sort of the pressures of having a game has been nice, and yeah, it's good couple of weeks training for the suspended boys who missed a little bit of football, Joe and Bradley. So yeah, all in all, good, productive couple of weeks, but we're ready now. We're chomping at the bit to get back out there.
And for you personally as a manager, because I mean it must be very intense constantly preparing for games, sometimes Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. Is it good for you just to have had that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important. It's we're an intense staff. We work 100 miles an hour, so I think whenever you can have a slightly slower paced week to really reset, recharge, and most importantly that I feel ready to go and attack the next part of the season, which I absolutely do, and I feel like we've used the time well to get the right amount of quality work, but rest into everybody. And yeah, the most important thing is now we look rested and recharged, ready to attack the next block of games.
And you personally, I know you were at Wembley, weren't you, on Thursday or last Thursday? That must have been an honour for you. Absolutely,
yeah. I think it's something that when you get selected for England, you find out 3 days before you meet up. You've got a club game before that, and then afterwards you're straight back into your clubs. You never really get a chance to celebrate playing for England and being selected for your country. So last Thursday I managed to do that with me and my wife, and yeah, really nice evening and a good England performance to go with it.
You come back to face Wimbledon on Saturday. They're a bit of a surprise package in a way, aren't they? Are you surprised at how well they've done so far? Because it's been a good start from them.
Listen, every team that are up there at the minute have good experience about their team, but they've got reliable players and not real weakness. They do the basics very well. They're competitive and yeah, they're riding a wave. But they're not just that. Johnny's done an outstanding job to get them to where they are this season. They'll have our utmost respect coming here. But we will be focusing on what we can control, and if we do that to the levels I know we can, I think we give ourselves a good chance of winning the football game.
Talking of the injuries, where are you at now with the likes of Jack and Cornell? How close are they?
Cornell very close. Cornell's in contention for the weekend. It'll be a decision we make after training tomorrow to whether I think even having Cornell, if it's for 20 and 30 minutes at the end of the game with his long throw, etc., and to reintroduce him is a positive. We won't put him at risk to do that. We've waited 4 to 5 weeks, so we won't put him at risk for the sake of that 20-30 minutes. But Cornell's been training with the group, which is brilliant news. Jack McKenzie, still indoors, so we'll be patient with Jack. We're talking weeks rather than months now. So Xavier is outside, but don't get too impatient with that one. He's about halfway through his rehab, so 5-6 weeks more to go with that. And Caleb Watson-Pleggy still a couple of months away.
Sometimes when you get a red card, it's over very quickly. Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, it's gone. I mean, Joe Edwards must be absolutely chomping at the bit now, isn't he?
Yeah, we had the Virtue Trophy game in the middle of it, so he didn't decondition too much. But Joe's a fantastic professional. He'll be ready to come back in on Saturday and help the team which way he can. He's an example of how to train professionally every day. And yeah, he's not let us down once this season. You know, he's important to us, in a real good leader in what's a very young squad. And we're thrilled to have Joe back. But yeah, I agree. He's probably thinking 4 or 5 weeks since his last league game is rare in this day and age.
Brilliant. Best of luck. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks.
Hello, Tom. With Cornell being available, Joe, Bradley Ibrahim, Alex Mitchell being available, you've got 4 extra players compared to the last time you played. Does that sound good that you've got 4 additions to the squad?
Absolutely. I think a club of our size, as the head coach, I should be having these tough decisions to make. You know, where we're going to have to leave some senior players out of a matchday squad. You're right to make note of Alex Mitchell returning as well. So that's a huge boost to us. I think Wimbledon will probably say that they were missing a couple of starters in their last performance, and as were we, probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 if you include the long-term injuries. So, no, we're pleased to have 2 or 3 of those back, and we'll be certainly stronger for it.
We've just seen Connor. He looks fit and well after being away. Is Brendan Galloway back? Is he okay?
Yeah, Brendan's returned well. Law's returned well. So, like I said last time, really thrilled that we're represented on an international stage, and I would never sort of be kicking myself that we've got too many internationals. I love it when my lads get called up, just as long as they return fit and healthy, which they have.
There was a bit of video the club put out of Xavier doing some light running the other day. So that's obviously got people excited. It's interesting what you've just touched upon there. He's still got quite a way to go in his recovery, hasn't he?
It's great news for us all to see him out there, but more importantly for him. For when you're in the gym for 6-8 weeks, I know it can get a fairly lonely place, and when you get fresh air, when you can get a little bit of eyes on the lads training, it all seems a little bit closer. However, it is a long rehab that he's got. Even when he's on the grass to joining team training, you're probably looking at 4 or 5 more weeks. So still it might seem closer than it is a little bit.
Can you just tell us a little bit about Mike Stow becoming goalkeeping coach, and you know what you've seen of him so far? Obviously, it sounds as though you've had past links with him, albeit briefly, at Leicester.
Yeah. So Mike's someone that I've worked with in my career right at the start. Great guy, but great experience, having worked at Leicester with top goalkeepers for so long, and then elsewhere, and then going out to Israel for a little bit. Brings good experience to the staff, which is along with Nance. We're a young staff, so I thought that was an important part of his armoury. And yeah, he's got the passion to want to develop our goalkeepers and help the team. So really thrilled to have Mike on board, and yeah, it'd be. I'm looking forward to working with him.
After Saturday, you have 5 successive away games. I'm sure you're well aware of that. Connor certainly was. That's going to be a big challenge. You know, how do you feel about that prospect?
Yeah, first of all, I think it helps that our away form has took a turn for the better in recent weeks. So that is something that I don't think we look at it and think, oh, that's going to be a challenging or a more challenging set of fixtures. They're all challenging, but I don't think we look at it and think, oh God, that's real tough. Logistically and travel, we have to be smart, and we have to do the right thing and the best thing for the players so that they're ready to perform. But no, it's very unusual, especially, and also the Bradford game could also be in doubt with international call-ups as well. So we might be 6 games, but no, we 1 game at a time. We'll prepare the best we can to win each one, and yeah, we're not going to be making any excuses about it.
And it's not just the 5 games, but it's in 3 different competitions as well. So it could really shape your season, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could. I think the next block will do. You know, I've made quite a strong point to the players that the next block of games, we really, what do we want to be as a football team? You know, how do we want to train every day to make sure we get the most out of this next block of games? It's an important period of time. I think the winter months sort of find a lot of teams out, and we want to be on the right side of that. So yeah, we starting with Wimbledon. It's a home game we really have to cherish because we're not here for a long time. We have to play at our maximum intensity and sort of see our fans on the road for a few weeks, but we want to leave them with a real good taste after Saturday, and then. But yeah, it's an important period of time for us as a football club and where we want to go with this season.
Congratulations to you on your England legacy cap that you picked up last week. So you saw the game then, and I guess you watched the game earlier this week as well. Could you give us some thoughts on Thomas Tuchel and the England team and qualifying for the World Cup? You know, are you optimistic about the way the national team's going at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say that he's a good coach. He's won the Champions League. He's managed some of the biggest clubs in Europe, and his record as England's head coach is outstanding. But when you really do analyse his team performances, you understand why, how he gets the attacking threats, the ball a lot, and has them in the right positions. But more impressive for me is the pressing and the counter pressing. To get that out of a squad you'd say is full of in-possession talent, but the way they've been pressing and counter pressing, I think it's brought a very, very good England team and a really good culture, and I think it's added another gear to them, and it's a really exciting team to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing them develop. But outstanding coach.
Just one more on that one. You played with some great players in your career. How good is Harry Kane? The goals that he scores at the moment consistently, you know, club, country. Thoughts on how good he is?
Yeah, I never played with Harry. I think he deserves everything that he gets. I've heard him, his attitude, the way he works. He can be an example for every young player. The amount of repetitions he didn't have it all his own way. I love the fact that he went on a couple of failed loans. He was never the best player in his youth teams, and he's. I think Wayne Rooney said it last week. When you talk about out and out number nines, certainly for as long as I've ever seen, he's England's best, and one of the world's best. So, the cleanest striker of a ball that I've seen. It with both feet, consistently finds the corners and consistently produces in the big moments. So, what a football player!
I saw him play as a sub for Orient against Argyle a few years ago, and he didn't stand out that night as a future England great. But that is development and progress and going from there, isn't it? So he's certainly come a long way from that night.
Attitude and work, and can get you a long way as well. He's a quality player, but attitude, mindset, hard work is three fundamentals that he has served him well.
Thank you for that on Saturday.
Cheers.
I'm sure you had such a full-on start to the season. Did players enjoy? Did you enjoy the break? Did you enjoy that sort of? I'm talking about when there was literally no football. You had a few days off, didn't you? Or did you?
No, I did. Yeah, I got to see the family and stuff. I must admit, I like it when there's football on in the evenings. So yeah, I do miss league football. You know, I have to be conscious that it is good for me to have a slower paced week, and it's beneficial for everyone that we are re-energised to approach a really important part. So yeah, it is nice, and I understand the benefits of it, which I probably didn't in my first 6 months of coaching. I wanted to be 100 miles an hour all the time, and that's not good for you. But I do miss league football. I think there's nothing like English league football, and I'll be watching Huddersfield Bolton tonight. I'll be watching Borough Ipswich tomorrow, and probably Liverpool Man U something.
You love it, don't you? And my only other question, actually, is a more general football question. I just started thinking about, we sit here every week. Do players still train without the ball? I know they probably go into the gym, but is there any running involved, or is it all with the ball training now?
Yeah, I mean, it depends what style of coach you are. I mean your style. Yeah, I like to do everything, or not everything, but as much as I can with the ball. You got to be, you got to be smart with how you use your players' time now, because obviously injury and the intensity that everything's done at. You can't just run them into the ground, so whatever I need to do, I try and do it with the ball, or structurally, or tactically. now and again, if you're trying to tap into their minds and their grittiness, you would put on a running session. But at this stage of the season, not for me.
All right, thanks for your time and good luck on Saturday.
Cheers.